Hey you guys, let's jump straight into the video. So I'm starting off by filling in my brows. I'm using Anastasia brow definer in the shade dark brown. I really love this eyebrow definer because it's very super smooth, it's very pigmented, and it's so easy to apply when doing your brows. Remember, creating fake eyebrow hairs in the front will always give you more of a natural, more seamless look. A fun fact about eyebrows is that you can shape it into whatever shape you would like your eyebrows to be. So don't overthink the process and just more so worry about filling in your brows versus tracing out your natural brow shape. Okay, so now it's time to conceal these brows. So I'm using the Too Faced concealer in the shade Chestnut. I use this exact shade in the peak of my brow. Also, I use it towards the end tail of my eyebrow. And I find it very much easier to just blend as I go. As a beginner, it's better to make things easier for you and not harder. And also, depending on what type of concealer you use, some concealers may dry up too fast. And when it's time for you to blend, once you're done shaping out your eyebrow, now it's just so hard to manipulate and trying to like blend it in. For the front of your eyebrows, it's best to use your foundation shade on the top of my eyebrow as well. But in the video, it looks a little bit lighter because I did end up mixing my foundation and my actual concealer together, so it looks a bit lighter. But just to avoid that, you can either use another brush or just use the other side of the concealer brush when you're tracing out your eyebrows. I follow a YouTuber called Lachey Glams. I love her work. She usually mattify the concealer on top of her eyelids, so I just started doing it too, and I really love this technique. I really love it because it really sets in the place of your eyeshadow, especially for natural looks. But for colors, I will consider to use a lighter concealer or maybe considering using white concealer. Okay, so the eyeshadow shade I went for is pink because it's Valentine's Day. Duh, we got to get the girls into the looks, okay? So this is my first time playing with color, but I really actually enjoyed how this came out. So I was just playing with the colors, not knowing what it was going to come out or what it was going to look like. So I did start off with my two transition colors, and those were listed on the video, so you can go back and see it, what colors I use if you have this palette. And I'm also using the Culture palette from Juvia's Place. All three shades is from this palette except the darker shade that I'm going to add towards the end. Also, when you're working with different shades of eyeshadows, it is so important to go back to add more if you need to take away if it's too much. So you're really just playing with it till you get the desired look of what makes you happy. Okay, so your girl had to draw her some wing liner. So I did a wing liner off camera because it was just so hard for me to do. And from that same palette, which is I think it's the Warriors palette from Juvia's Place. I love this palette so much. I did go in with a white eyeshadow and I placed it inside the corner of my eyes, and I'm just applying some lashes that I got from Amazon. I don't even know when I purchased it, but it was just been so long. I have so many pairs of lashes, it's crazy. As a beginner, as a professional, as a person, if you don't have this in your makeup kit, what are you doing? This e.l.f. grip primer is tea. Grab it if you see it, grab it in the store. Alrighty, now it's time to mattify the skin. I'm going in with my Sasha Buttercup in the shade Light to mattify my skin. I don't have oily skin. I have normal to oily skin. Like, my skin is kind of normal, so I don't have oily skin, but this will help the girlies who have oily skin. So you want to go ahead and apply that in your T-zone area. And I like to swatch my foundation, just get like a brush and just put swatch all over my face. So I'm making sure I'm not using too much foundation on my skin. Another good key tip is to also spray your foundation brush with setting spray. This will help you blend out your foundation a little bit more smoother and more seamlessly. Alright, so we're almost done. This is my favorite part, the concealing, because it just brings out the whole look together. I just love concealer. So you're going to conceal your T-zone area and also under your eyes. You want to make sure that you pay close attention to this part because this is where you're going to be blending, baby. When I say blending, you got to make sure you blend this thing all the way in. And what I use to help me blend is I use setting spray. So I do use setting spray. I don't spray my face, but I spray the brush. And the setting spray that I have been using lately is the Tillsbury setting spray, and I love this setting spray. Another setting spray I do recommend is the Morphe setting spray. Love it. Chef's kiss, one of the best. But I happen to have this setting spray in my kit because I ran out of the Morphe. So yeah. And when you're blending under your eye, you want to go in that up and down rotation. You want to go up, down, up and down, up and down, and make sure you're blending in an angle to keep that facelift. And I had a typo on the setting spray. It's Charlotte Tilbury. Let me put some respect on her name because yeah, that setting spray is definitely T. So as you guys can see here, I am blending. I think this is the most you'll ever blend is with the concealer. Like, I know overall you blend, but right here you got to make sure you blend, baby. So I'm gonna go in my black opal contour stick. I really live by this contour stick. I really don't use contour stick as much. I'll rather use the contour powder, but since it's for Valentine's Day, we're doing our Valentine's look, we're gonna make this look just a bit more dramatic. Okay, so you want to make sure you blend your forehead really good. And also I was blending with the contour brush and also my foundation brush, so I can just blend it all in together so it doesn't look like a big dark spot on the top of my head. Another key tip is I used to suck in my face and find that line, that crease in between your jawbone and place my contour, but I stopped doing that because I noticed that when I brought it just a bit higher, it kind of snatched my face more. It kind of structured my face so nicely, and I've been seeing all the makeup artists do this on Instagram, so I be taking my notes, so I'm sharing them with you guys. And also my blush, I used to smile for my blush. I don't even smile for my blush no more. I know exactly where to place my blush. The girlies have been putting this on. It's like you have to get with what's new, and these are some new techniques. And I'm going ahead with my liquid blush from Juvia's Place. I love liquid blush. Like, liquid blush is really the thing now, and a little goes a long way, so make sure you're not using too much. After the blush, you want to make sure you blend all of that in over there by the concealer area. And before I place my setting powder, I like to always just double check and make sure I don't have any creases up under my eyes. I always been so afraid of using so much setting powder to set my concealer because I tried it so many times and I always look like a powder donut, and I just really can't understand it. So I just take my time with setting the powder on top of my concealer. So I just take my time a little bit, like bits by bits, and I just blend it out seamlessly. So I am going with the under eye pink look. So I blended the shade from the Warriors palette and also the darker pink from the Culture palette. Mix those two together and I place it up under my eyes. And as you guys can see right here, I am going to set my blush with powder blush from the Warriors palette. I'm going to set that, and I contoured my nose with the Black Radiance palette. I usually use powder contour for my nose because it just gives off a more natural, more softer look versus using the black opal stick to contour my nose. Anything you contour with liquid, you have to set it with using powder. When I first started doing my makeup, I was not using any pressed powders. I just felt like the pressed powders were a bit much. But honestly, using pressed powders to set just my face in general really makes a big difference in my makeup application. It makes your face look more seamless, more flawless. It would give off a natural filter look, very clean, very smooth, very polished. So you will use your light pressed powders for your highlighted areas and your dark pressed powders for your jawbone and your forehead area, the dark areas in your face. FYI, you guys, please do not use this brush for for your pressed powders, okay? Honestly, my brushes were still wet and I couldn't use them, so I had to do what I had to do. All right, so you're going to set your face after everything. Setting your face is just like the complete woosah. Like, I'm almost done. And the last step is the lip. Like, how can you not forget the lip? The lip is literally my favorite. And the best lip pencil so far that is so affordable is the Ruby Kiss. So you can find it in your hair store, you know. MAC does have some great lip liners as well. But if you on a budget and you want your lips to still pop, get the Ruby Kisses. I'm trying to tell you. Alrighty. And my favorite gloss so far right now is the Broadway glosses. You can find it in your hair store as well. I'm trying to put y'all on, save you some coins. And also the Dior lip glosses. Okay, so this look came out super fire. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This is actually my first makeup tutorial and I'm so excited. Let me know what else you guys would like to see. And what else you want me to put on my channel. I'm super excited. I hope you guys really enjoyed this look. It is February 1st and we're dropping makeup content, okay? So make sure you follow me on my social media platforms and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Mwah.